Hello, my name is Taisha. Welcome. Today is Sunday, January 5th, 2025. Happy New Year. And I'm back with my week 46 update. I started my journey in February of 2024 and I weighed 183 pounds. I weighed in this morning at 128 pounds, which is up one from last week. But again, I um, I expect fluctuations, especially since I am in the process of trying to build muscle. I am going to go through and show you my injection process, and then I want to get into something that I think is pretty cool. And anyway, let me get through this injection first. So, as you can see, I have my alcohol pad and my pen. I'm on 5 milligrams. I spent the first 4 weeks on 2.5 milligrams, and the rest of the time I've been on 5. I wipe the area with the alcohol pad. Then I put the pen next to my skin, I unlock it, and then you're not going to hear it today because I have the sound off, but you're going to hear two. When you do your injection, you will hear a series of two clicks, one letting you know it started, the other letting you know it finished. I usually wait a few seconds, then I move it, put the cap back on, I wipe the area. Today there was a little blood, sometimes there's not, sometimes there is. And that's it. It's really that easy. So now I want to talk to you guys about an app that I think is pretty cool. I found out about it by watching the Downsized last week. They had the person on that actually came up with this. And for someone that's just getting started, or if you're newly into it, I think it'd be more exciting for you guys. I'm already on week 46, but I still wanted to show you. So if we go into Weight Tracker, I have my profile, and we're going to go to data. So what I did earlier this morning was put in all 46 weeks of data, as you can see. Now, the only thing that I haven't figured out how to do is to be able to change the days. So initially when I started my Zepbound journey, I was doing my injections on Wednesdays. And then I switched to Saturdays as a shot day. And now I'm currently on Sundays. So I didn't know how to go in and edit that, but it's still weekly, right? I just wanted to let you guys know that in case you look at the dates and you're like, hey, that's a little weird. So I started on February 21st, and you see every week I put all the figures in. And what's nice about it is when you do enter your data, so let me go to the next week just to show you. You'll see it shows you the start of the week and ask you if your dose was taken. So yes or no. The only week that I have a no for was week 30. And then the weight that you put in is at the end of the week, which is a little different, right? So that's why my numbers are, that's why my weeks are just a bit off, but it's still the amount of time that I've been on it. So I hope that makes sense to you guys because I'm saying it back and I'm not feeling very confident. Anyway, you put in if you took your dose, and then at the end of that week, that's when you put your weight in, and then you put if you've had any side effects. So I have yet to experience any nausea, vomiting, constipation, or diarrhea. Now, I believe that they just have those four there because those are the most common ones that people experience. It also asks if you have had any weight loss, tolerability, and your overall assessment. So for the most part, for tolerability, I have excellent every time because I haven't had any issues. In the assessment, I think things have been going well, so I've rated it as excellent. Now, on weeks where my weight stayed the same, I put in neutral. But yeah, your options for weight loss, you see are excellent, good, neutral, poor, or very poor. Tolerability, same options. And then your overall assessment, same options. And actually, let me show you guys these. So for nausea, either you experience none, mild, moderate, or severe. And those are your options for vomiting, constipation, and diarrhea, which is spelled incorrectly, but we know it's diarrhea, right? And then if you have any notes. So I did on week 30 put in my notes, obviously I didn't take the shot that week, and I put in that it was due to a colonoscopy. And the date of my colonoscopy was actually on September 11th, 2024. So that's that. Now let's go home and get into the cool stuff. So you see, I have it in the graph. So I'm showing you a graph and you can see where I started and then kind of where I am now. And you see where it's a pretty steady curve. Kind of goes up a little bit because there are several times where I had just a tiny bit of weight gain, but I just kept with it. Now, when I run the simulation, so if you can see here at the top, we have starting weight, week 46 weight is 128. So it has 55 pounds because that's where I am now, 30.1%. So in a year, I had this simulation, it predicts that I'll be 128 pounds in a year. So that's pretty cool. And anyway, dose and predicted concentration. So it shows you that kind of stuff. Then we go into GI side effects. Now, I haven't had any nausea, vomiting, constipation, or diarrhea, so for me, it has 0% there. If you're someone that's experienced that, you make sure you put that information in so it can show you an accurate picture. 25 of the 46 weeks, I've had some weight loss, so that is reported as good or excellent. Now, what I did on weeks where my weight stayed the same, I just put neutral. And then for tolerability, for me, it was 100% because I haven't had any issues with tolerating the medication. And overall, my experience, I would say 100%. I would recommend. And then as far as it's breaking down, nausea, I haven't had any. But if you do, you see it shows you the percentage of your weeks where you experience that. Same with vomiting, constipation, and diarrhea. So that's it. And I think this is a pretty cool app. I haven't played around with it a whole bunch. I downloaded it last week when I found out about it, again through watching a video on the downsized, and then I put all my information in this morning. So if you're just getting started or you're early into it, put that data in and it'll kind of give you a picture. And what it does is it's going to assess everyone that's putting all this data in. By the way, it's free. It's a free app, but just know they're collecting data, and that way they can get a better idea of how to predict if you're going to have, side effects, what your weight's going to be, and things like that. So this is my notebook. I got all the data from my Happy Scale app and put it in here. And so if you can see these arrows here, that is showing you there were 5 different weeks where I actually had some slight weight gain. And if we count this week, this would be the 6th week. So out of the 46 weeks, 6 of them I had some weight gain. And I'm just telling you that because there's going to be times where your weight goes up and it goes down. Just hold the course. Just stay the course. Keep being consistent. And when you're comfortable and confident and know, like, I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do, just keep going. Keep going. And there were lots of weeks where things stayed the same. So I don't consider that a plateau or a stall or anything. Our bodies just need time to adjust. So anyway, check out the Weight Tracker app. I think it's pretty cool. I am a vegan and I eat a whole food plant-based diet. And I switched to whole food plant-based in February. And that's just worked well for me. I drink a gallon of water a day, and I just haven't had any issues, and I'm eating in a way that makes me feel good. I have no desire to eat any animal products or anything, and that's not what's required for weight loss. I have mentioned before that you can be a vegan and still be unhealthy and overweight, and that's exactly what I was when I started my journey. So I made some lifestyle changes that feel sustainable to me. So that's what works for me. And I, just challenge you to figure out something that works for you. What we want to do is, I talk about mindset a lot because it's really important. And what happens is sometimes we can get caught up in that number on the scale. We can get caught up with watching other people and seeing how their journeys are moving, whether they're losing a bunch of weight quickly or, whatever they have going on. It's not going to be the same for you, right? we could take five of us. We can eat the same exact way and do the same workouts, and our results are still going to be different because we're all different and our bodies, run differently. Some people are diabetic and they have other things going on. So I'm saying that to tell you, focus on your own journey. Do not get caught up. And that's the biggest advice. I know there are different people that have been disappointed and felt the need to disconnect because they were having a hard time with the comparison thing. And it's natural, right? We want to watch other people, and then things, if they don't go the way that we expect them to, it's very easy to get, bummed out or disheartened, but just keep going. Just keep going. And another thing that I'm pretty big on is if you're losing weight and it's not fast, you're still losing weight. So if you're caught up with that, like, I've only lost X amount of pounds, take a moment and assess and ask yourself, would I have lost this weight if I wasn't on the medication? What could I do differently? Am I doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing? Am I eating enough? Am I eating enough protein? Am I hydrated enough? Am I drinking a bunch of sugary, drinks? Am I eating a lot of junk food? Am I doing snacking throughout the day? I keep track of everything that I eat on Instagram. I also put it in the community tab. But on Instagram, and I probably won't keep mentioning this every week, I'm not sure. I put everything there. So that for me, when I created my Instagram in March, it was so that I could track my journey. I wanted to record my workouts and everything that I ate. I started adding the macros and things like that later on down the line. But when I first started off, I wasn't doing all of that. I was weighing everything, but I was just taking pictures. So when I had a DEXA scan done and realized that I had lost a bunch of muscle, I knew that I needed to track I needed to do a better job of accurately tracking. Taking pictures wasn't enough because I wasn't letting me know that I wasn't getting enough protein and things like that. So instead of looking at tracking as this restrictive thing, look at it, it's data. It's data. You know what you're eating, you know the workouts you're doing. So if you're doing these things and you're consistent and the weight stays the same for a while, that's okay. That's okay. You're going to be able to fine tune things if you know exactly what you're doing. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Now, as far as the workouts, I have been strength training. Let's see. So we're on week 46. I've been strength training for 44 weeks of the 46. That is my preferred way to, work out. I enjoy it. I want to, build some more definition, and those are my goals. But if you don't have that goal, then don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm super excited to be starting a new challenge tomorrow. And I have to give a shout out to 2.0 Mommy because I would not have done this if it were not for her. This is definitely going to take me out of my comfort zone. So this entire time I've been working out, I've been doing relatively short workouts. So they're in the 20 to 30 minute range. And it's typically 4, 5, 6 days a week. And it's called the 6-week Muscle Burns Fat Challenge. We will be doing 3 strength training workouts a week, which are 45 minutes. And then every day, so 7 days a week, walking for 30 minutes. I have not been consistently using my walking pad, so this would be a good challenge to get me to do that. And I will let you guys know how it goes. I'll keep you updated every week on how that's going. Now, because it's a paid program, I won't be putting the specifics on there because again, I didn't create the program. And anytime something's free, I don't mind sharing the details, but it's paid. So I don't want to put her program out there. I will still be recording my workouts every day and even the walking pad one and putting that on Instagram. So that's going to stay the same, but actually putting in the details like the particular exercise, the reps and all of that, that is something that I'll keep to the app where we're recording everything. And so if you're interested in doing something like that, I'll put a link in the description. And the link is not like, I'm not an affiliate. I don't get a kickback or anything like that. It's just I'm sure it's a way of her tracking how people found out about it. But anyway, it's the app is called Solon. But if you go to Lift with C's channel, you'll see it on there. And it starts tomorrow. So if you're interested in it, I say give it a shot. If you feel like you're not ready for, that level, then don't do something that is going to end up making you disappointed. So if you're not ready to do something like that, don't do it. There's other things you can do. If you don't like strength training, I wouldn't recommend it. And I wouldn't consider the program that she's doing a beginner program. So anyway, take that information and do what you will with it. I've been going live weekly on Mondays at 7 p.m. And I've done that for the past 7 or 8 weeks. And I really enjoy that. Now, that content is not specifically focused necessarily just on GLP-1 content. It's mindset, habit change, goal setting, things like that. I'm thinking about doing something for people that are new, and that's only if there's interest. I like doing the weekly lives. I like being able to interact with people in the community, and I think it's a great tool. I try to have purpose with everything that I do. The purpose of these lives is to be able to get on and interact, and then you guys are talking to each other in the comments and getting tips, people who are struggling with things like nausea, constipation, other people step in and they're like, well, hey, this is what I do. So it's interactive, and I liked how interactive the last one was. So I want to structure the rest of the lives that way. So tune in tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And until then, remember, we can share our journeys, but we should not compare them. And I want you to really process that. These are our own personal journeys. Sharing them is great. It's great to get, insight, know that you're not alone. But if you get into the habit of comparing your journey to other people's, you're going to be disappointed. You're going to be disappointed. So that is all I have for you. Bye.